morning, and welcome to an all-new Eye of the Tiger. I'm Zach Galumgum.
And I'm Joseph Bianchini.
Last Friday, a Zoom webinar was held by RHS Principal Nicholas Richter for anyone to join. Students and parents were allowed to ask questions about RSVL Academy and in-person learning planning to take place next semester.
Parents had a lot of questions, questions about, what are the offerings going to be? And we don't know yet. We got to find out who's going to be there. Couple things that were worked out is that if a student is the official, and things are evolving, I want to say everything that's being said is subject to change. I was just in a meeting where they were talking about the official registrations for the online academy will probably be coming on the 29th. And so that's the official word of, okay, that's when we're really deciding to be a part of this or not.
Families were asked to complete the RSVL Academy survey last night at midnight.
The blood drive was also held on Friday. This year, however, due to COVID-19, precautions were in place to ensure social distancing. 70 spots were available for students or employees of Roseville to sign up. However, a majority of the donors were Roseville High School students. Donors were asked to complete a health questionnaire and had their temperatures checked. Students who wanted to sign up but were not able to can donate blood on November 7th at Whitney High School.
Now we go over to Kobe Estrada with sports.
Good morning and welcome to this Tuesday's edition of EOTSN. I'm Kobe Estrada. This year, the football's weight room class looks a little bit different. Masks are required and no spotters are allowed. We go to Jackson Hooker with more on the story.
In the past years, football has used the athletic PE class to get extra reps in the weight room. This year, the class is much different, as there's very limited students, no spotters allowed, and masks required. 3-year senior varsity linebacker Carlos Alvarez believes his team is working to the best of their ability and are getting stronger as a team as they continue to push themselves every day.
Well, as of right now with our conditions, I think that we're doing the best to our ability. I think right now we're getting a good workout in and still getting stronger and working as a team. So I think that's all that really matters as long as we're together and gathering strength from each other and just pushing each other every day. I think we'll be all good.
Senior fullback transfer from Hawaii, Connor Egan, is really glad the team is able to lift together and start to build a bond as a team, and he can get to know the guys after transferring into Roseville.
It's a big benefit to us, especially, because we're going into the season without a lot of practice, you know what I'm saying? So just to have that, strength aspect is really good.
And in other sports news, last week we mentioned that a pair of RHS juniors committed to UC Santa Barbara. Those two juniors were Michaela Newsom and Malaya Johnson.
Because they have great academics and their school has a great biology program, and that's something I want to get into because I want to go to dental school after.
Said about it, the coaches and the field and the playing all seemed great, and yeah, I kind of just fell in love with the idea of it, so I'm excited.
And that's all on your home for Roseville High School sports, top plays, breakdowns, and more. Eye of the Tiger Sports Network, EOTSN. And now we go over to entertainment.
Thanks, Kobe. With Halloween this Saturday, I thought it'd be a perfect time to give a list of some of my favorite Halloween horror movies for everyone to watch this week to get into the Halloween spirit. Here's 6 of my Halloween top picks. Starting off with the classics in the list, first I have John Carpenter's Halloween because I just think this is the most quintessential Halloween movie due to its title name and the fact that it has Michael Myers, who's probably the most infamous killer in all of the horror slasher genre. So it's really good. It's a good thriller. Number 2, we have Friday the 13th Part 3, and I chose this because this is the first time you really see Jason in his proper form. In the previous movies, in the first one it was his mother who was the killer, and in the second time he wore this sort of sack over his head. So in this movie you first see the iconic hockey mask, and this really brings Jason into his full form into life. And for Scream, this is honestly just such a likable movie. You get to really enjoy the characters, and you really don't know who the killer is until the very end, which leaves for a really great shock factor. And moving on to the new movies in the list, we have the 2018 Halloween sequel, Happy Death Day, and Child's Play from 2019. What makes the Halloween sequel so awesome is that it has Jamie Lee Curtis reprising her role as Laurie Strode, and that time she's there to get Michael Myers for good. While the movie still has such a, similar feel to the first movie, it has differences because there's a lot of shock value at the end when they're in Laurie's house. So it definitely makes for a good thriller. Happy Death Day is also pretty unique because it's kind of like a Groundhog's Day situation, but with a slasher twist. It's a girl's birthday, and every day she wakes up at the end of the night, she keeps getting killed by a mysterious killer and then wakes up again only to relive this every single day with different kills. It really makes for a good movie, and it's hilarious not to mention. The 2019 Child's Play movie is also pretty good because while it does share a lot of similarities to the original movie, it's also pretty different, so it makes for a really suspenseful movie. And not to mention, I think it's a little better than the original in my opinion. If you're interested in any of these, they're on various platforms. Some of them are free and some you do have to rent. In other entertainment news, recently it was announced that there'd be a 5th installment to the Scream franchise coming to theaters in 2022. Very little is known about the movie, such as title, plot, and full cast, but we can predict that it'll most likely just be called Scream 5, running with the title theme of the other movies. We also do know that original and iconic cast members David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and Neve Campbell will be a part of the new film due to how integral they've been in all of the previous ones. However, there's still so much information that's unknown at this time. Production for the movie is somewhat underway, and you can expect to see it sometime in 2022. And now we go back to news.
Thanks, Isabella. The dance program has been looking at new ways to learn during the pandemic. We go to Joshua Jones-Trammell with the story.
The Roseville High School dance program has been far different than it has ever been as students connect through their devices. However, that hasn't stopped students from learning. Sophomore Lena Pham finds dance class difficult during this time, but is enthusiastic about the class. During online classes, we are separated into 3 groups of dances made by student choreographers that we do daily checkup videos every week in separate chats depending on the dance you have chosen, which is either taught on separate calls live or videos set in by the choreographers that you learn on your own. It's not as beneficial for a dancer doing dance alone and without much help, but there is not much we can do with what's given to us. Student choreographers take videos of them teaching dances and send them to their dancers for learning. With every dance they learn, they open up Google Meets or Zooms to ask questions and discuss the dances. Senior Olivia Tonas is enthusiastic about connecting with fellow dancers.
So how dance has been working this year is a lot different than what we're used to. So right now, as a choreographer, I will actually take videos of pieces of my dance, few 8 counts at a time, and I'll send it in to the dancers and have them learn it. So I'll be in the video, I'll be teaching it, going over it with music and counts and different things to help them to learn it as best as I can since we're not together.
The structure of the program is continuing to shift towards more easily understood teaching methods.
That's it for us today on Eye of the Tiger.
And remember, we're always on at eyeofthetigernews.com. See you next time.